Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Readiness and the Time of the Shift. A few weeks back, the last video that I did, I spoke about this unease. The fact that I was not sleeping well and that I felt through the meditation that's followed that the issue was not internal to me. At first, I thought that I was suppressing or repressing or burying something that I need to examine. The sensation and the feeling is as if my body knows something that my mind is not prepared to process. So upon examination, I realized very quickly, or relatively quickly, that it was not personal to me, that it was planetary and global in scope, that something big is about to happen, and that there's a part of me that is in fear of whatever future or events are about to occur. So I spent a lot of time doing the whole Ho'oponopono to myself, and in the process of doing this, I was able to channel my guides. The Galactic Regent Council, they are a collective of 12 galactic elders that compose the governance of the Milky Way galaxy. And they came to me, they do that typically once a year, and they begin to tell me a little bit more about the general scope and background of what's happening to planet Earth and how that is going to be impacted with a series of events, like a series of dominoes. When one falls, the next one will fall, the next one will fall. And it's all related to the moving of multiple of us on Earth into a frequency that matches our own. And it has to do with the fact that, and it's not the intellectual idea that you're holding in your head. Like, let's say you're reading a lot of spiritual book, in a section book, and you think that you're communicating with the angels and the masters and the spiritual beings, yet emotionally, you're still an infant. When the time of the shift is occurring, the energy of the shift itself will not look at your intellectual prowess or what you think or what you profess yourself to be. It will look only at the emotion that dominates your energy grid. Okay? Thus, doing emotional intelligence work becomes critical at this time. And in all the trainings that I've done in the Facebook page, the Facebook group that I've been training for over a year for free, or a whole bunch of people on how to achieve ascension, the first 12 classes are about emotional intelligence. So for those of you who might be interested, I will leave the link below. I will also leave the link to the channeling and also a live that I did to explain the channeling. Because the channeling reveal a lot of, it gives timeline, it's very precise, but it also reveals a series of events that are, in any other term, would be judged as catastrophic. Because what's happening is that there's a passing or a separation of humanity into multiple camps, what we're calling the tribalism, or what they are calling, the Galactic Regent Council, a fragmentation. And there will be a separation, and as this separation occurs, there will be multiple camps, okay? Physically first, and then ultimately these camps that are at whatever frequency that they are at, when the crossing occurs. And the crossing has to do with the specific cosmological event that's about to take place. It's the fact that the Milky Way galaxy is flat. And as we rotate around the solar system and the Earth rotate on themselves, and then we are rotating around also the galactic core in a 250 million year cycle. Every 31 million years, the thickness, if the Earth is here, the earth wobbles either up or down. And when that happens, we align to the core. And that alignment they call the galactic equator crossing. So when that occurs, it shifts en masse a whole bunch of people into frequencies that they belong to. So that event, that cosmological event, becomes, and it's going to occur very soon, but there's a whole prep that is occurring right now. And that prep is explained in the channeling. It's explained in the words. And I'm saying this to you because I want you to do your own research and judge for yourself. I don't want to be the one that's spreading fear, although the channeling is not about fear. It's about facts. Moreover, in the channeling, the Galactic Region Council gives us thriving strategies so that we can exist and be safe in the shift. The operative word in the channeling that was mentioned more than anything else is the stillness, the peace. Peace, the word peace was mentioned multiple times. That if we as light workers, way showers, is we as beacon cannot remain in stillness and in peace in the midst of all kind of chaos that are going to happen around us, we too are going to be swayed and moved into a place that we probably do not belong to. Okay? So there is a whole bunch of psychological and emotional prep work, and I suppose that's what they are revealing it to us. Because up to that point, I've been channeling them for years. They've always talked about it in very broad, general terms, never with timeline. They actually give dates. Number of months and years where these or that event is going to happen. So, I'm supposed it's for us to be ready and prepared. I think right now, last night, for example, I'm not sleeping well. I had bad dreams, and I woke up in the middle of the night, unable to go back to sleep. And because of this, I've been doing a lot of deep work since this morning. And I just want to share with you that what I am feeling right now is that the elections that are happening right now in the US, the midterm elections, it's going to be extremely contentious, combative, if not violent. Okay? And from my dreams, and I'm not projecting anything on anybody, I'm not wishing this to happen, but from my dreams, it's going to be violent. And because of this, either because of the election, there are all kinds of behaviors that are going to cause this, all as a consequence of it. In either case, be prepared to witness behaviors that are so out of character, that are going to be so polarizing, if not triggering us to become reactive. And if you allow yourself to go into that reactivity and to start foaming at the mouth and to lose it, you're going to derail from what they are trying to guide us not to do, which is to remain in stillness and focus on the future that you're trying to go into. Because all of these division and separation or distraction to cause or derail people to congregate in a move, because multiple realities are occupying the same space and they're battling for control. And if you allow yourself to be swayed and move this way, that way, or the other, you're not going to focus on where you need to be. Okay? I hope I'm making myself clear and I'm not being too cryptic. But I like to conclude today. By the way, I like to conclude, before I say anything more, I like to conclude today by doing a prayer and a meditation with you as a way for you to achieve that stillness and that spiritual composure. Close your eyes and take a very deep and slow breath. I become aware of the stillness that exists within, without, and everywhere. In this profound rest and silence, let the presence, intelligence, clarity of God be revealed. I surrender all my fears, burden, and pain in front of the throne of God. Keep breathing deeply and slowly. I become aware of the release, liberation, and vastness that this surrender gives me. I allow the presence that occupies the vast continents to merge with me. Let all expansions in perception known to the divine and the 144 celestial virtues be perfectly merged with me. In the middle of the storm and chaos of this world, I become the beacon, the grounding rod of God, the celestial anchor, and I release a quasar of light, dissipating all fears and darkness. Restoring stillness, peace, and serenity to everyone in my circle of influence. May the liberation, the freedom, the stillness, and the presence of God that I know pass on to you. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna in the highest. Take a very deep breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. One of the things that you should note that in this atmosphere, where there are going to be all kind of external chaos and storms that are coming between now and the next 4 years, 4 to 5 years, one should cultivate. This is the first advice that they gives. Your God concept has to be defined, and it has to be a point of rest that you go to all the time. For many of you who are light workers, who are healers, you do have a God concept. It's undefined, and it's not somewhere you go on a regular basis. You should cultivate and work on that muscle to make sure that you're constantly going there to surrender your fear of what's happening around you onto that point of stillness. And surrender everything, exhale all of it out, let it go, and let the peace, the stillness, the serenity come unto you. And share that peace and that serenity and that stillness with the world. This is the only way we can cope with this. That's item number 1 on the list of multiple advice that they give us. Again, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Share if you feel so inclined to do so. And also, I will leave the links for everything that I mentioned above, the channeling, the recording, the live recording that I did to explain the channeling, and also the Wisdom Council. You have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you for listening.